TLM workshop of history. Okay, instead of telling we are here, you people are that side. So it's not that we are the one.
It is the reorientation and the interaction of both the sections. Everybody is active in this workshop. Not only in that part, if we are active and from that part you are passive. We are both active participant and the recipients.
Yes.
Of this workshop.
Let this be workshop be an interactive session. Okay. So you also please come out with your opinions. We are here with some TLMs. We know what is TLM by the way. TLM is teaching learning method. So this TLM we can use some TLMs while teaching history in the class for making our teaching little more interesting for the students, because students find history to be a very boring subject. They have this in their mind that history is a very boring subject. So to make it a little bit more interesting, what we can do in the class, what activities we can do, what activities the students can do. So that only for that interactive session we are here today. So we will start with this one. This one TLM. We have.
It is for class 6.
Yes.
This is the early man's phenomena, that how they have civilized themselves and how they have developed themselves from early man to modern man. It is the long journey of
evolution of man. How they have from the early age, from the Paleolithic
adapted
age,
themselves with the changes of social changes, environmental changes. They have adopted themselves and they have changed them accordingly and evolved all their characteristics.
And from there till today we are evolving, we are learning, and we are here today. That is also a process of evolution.
It is also a process of teaching learning process.
Yes.
With their invention
With their inventions, they learned to use the fire, community living, started living together, they built the houses and all those things. So for that, this has also been made by one of my students only. So here I have just tried to portray that how stage-wise they have evolved. What are the things they have learned? What transports were used during the Neolithic age? What crops were grown in the Neolithic age? Because we all know that Neolithic age was the period when civilization, little bit people became civilized. From the Paleolithic age till Neolithic age, how they have changed from the Java man. In fact, if we go back to the early man, Java man,
taking back to Neolithic man in the Chalcolithic age. That is the age of metals.
Yes, and how they have developed themselves. So this TLM we can use in the class. Every student can make this also.
And we need to inspire our students to make all these teaching learning materials. This is teaching learning material is from our part, but it will be a part of a collaborative and cooperative learning.
Yes.
And the main objective of this sort of learning is to have an expansion in their thoughts, to nurture their creative nature, and to develop their motor skills, that is fine and gross.
Yes. And also to involve them in the subject. Only we are giving lecture in the class, they also find it to be very boring. So when you make them participate in some activities, so naturally they also get interest. Yes, they also get
develop interest. And moreover, I have found that our words, when I am asking them to do this chart, I am giving them hints. They are suggesting more points.
Yes, right, absolutely.
That means they have got an interest to make all these things.
Yes, absolutely, and they are very tech savvy now. This generation, they are very tech savvy, so they know in fact more than us. What are the sites we can use, from where we can get more materials. So they are more tech savvy and they know how to implement those things. Only guidance is required.
In their approach, in their learner-centered approach.
Exactly. So now this was for class 6.
Class 7 I don't have. But
then when we are teaching them the Mughal age, naturally the students have a problem. After Babur who came, then after that who, this sequence wise they sometimes forget. So if we put up this kind of chart in the class, or else if we tell them to make a chart, naturally they will be learning while making this.
The
also.
chronology of the appearance of the Mughal emperors
Yes.
will be very much
With the
distinct from
timeline.
the past.
Timeline.
Timeline.
And who came after whom.
And their achievements.
Yes.
Their achievements.
Some achievements also are mentioned here. But this chart has also been prepared by one of my students only. So this here, but what the thing is that what the significance of this chart is that Babur, then Humayun, and I just told him that you place it like this so that you also learn, and at the same time you get to know, and if you put up this kind of a chart in the class, it will be easier for them to remember, because visual effect is more effective than the audio effect. So when they are regularly, when they are coming to the class, if they see this chart on the board, then naturally they will not be having any more confusion.
Pictorial image in there.
Exactly,
And they will to assimilate the topics
Exactly.
that we try to impart them.
Yes, when we are teaching them, we are telling them Babur, then after that Babur, Humayun came. Maybe we are so much, we know history, so it is easy for us to remember. But for them, it's a new thing. So naturally, remembering these things, and most of the students, they are not interested in history. So we have to make it interesting for them. And why they don't get interest? Because you will ask, they will say that, ma'am, we cannot remember the dates and events. We cannot remember what happened after war. That is why we are not getting interested in history. So this kind of things, if we can display, then I think that it will be easily, it will be a visual effect they can have, and they can remember it quite well, isn't it? So that for that purpose, we can use this chart in our class. Yes. Next for class 8.
Of a topic which is taught in class 8, because my words have prepared many charts, but it's not possible for us to display all those same in this limited span of time. So this is a chart on Lord Macaulay. Lord Macaulay was the person who had resolved the Anglicist-Orientalist controversy, because when Western education when Western education was had its onset of implementation in the mode of education during the colonial period, at that time there was a controversy between the Anglicist and the Orientalist. And Lord Macaulay's minute recommendations of education had resolved this conflict between the Anglicist and the Orientalist.
Actually, the British passed a Charter Act in 1813, where they said that 1 lakh rupees they are ready to spend.
After meeting all the expenses of the administrative field, if 1 lakh rupee is saved, then they will use that 1 lakh rupees in imparting education.
For improving the West, for improving and imparting education
to Indians.
Actually, they had, for Indians, they had interest also.
Yeah, they wanted to use the Indianized people in their administrative
system.
work.
Yes, exactly.
So that is the reason for which they wanted to impart education, but at that time it was not decided whether the education that will be imparted on the Indians, the medium of instruction, whether it will be vernacular or Western language.
Exactly.
So because of that, two groups of people had arisen. One were Anglicist, those who wanted to impart the education in English or Western language, along with the implementation of Western thoughts, philosophy, knowledge and scientific views. And another is the implementation of education in typical vernacular language like Sanskrit, Persian, mainly Sanskrit and Persian. Now
why this chart? Why this chart?
Because Lord Macaulay's recommendations, basing on these Lord Macaulay's recommendation, our system of education is passing through. According to Macaulay's Minute and Wood's Dispatch, the framing of the schema of our educational system has been done.
Yes.
And whatever we are going through, the educational system, the Panchkosh system, the Prasar and Prachar knowledge, all the things have been already had their dictum by Lord Macaulay and Wood, Charles Wood. The establishment of universities, the division of the syllabus, the division between intermediate stage and the pre-primary, elementary stage of education, and overall the women's education. All the things are dependent on this Lord Macaulay's minute. So I have asked my words to prepare this chart, which is a very important phenomena in their history, in the syllabus of history, and they have prepared it and they have used it in their flip class. That is, in that class, they will impart their knowledge or their understandings to us. Where I am a student and my word is a teacher, and she had taught all these things to me.
Presentation from Durga ma'am.
I don't know whether the presentation is because Kakuli ma'am is very much expertised in PPT. I have seen her done the PPT very beautifully. I am not so much expertised, but still I have tried. Sir and ma'ams, please consider the flaws and the loopholes which are there in my presentation. But as a matter of exhibition of the TLM workshop, I have done this. This is the rise of Hitler. I have just given a very brief description of the rise of Hitler. And the first thing, actually, the background behind the rise of Nazism or the aggressive nationalism concept, the background has started passively from the time of the Industrial Revolution. Because after Industrial Revolution, there was the jingoistic nationalism concept, the imperialism, the urge for imperialism of all the countries to have their sovereignty as their governing power. And then after that, after the end of the First World War, democracy to some extent had started, but still there was a great economic depression. And this and the fall of the Weimar Republic also, because Weimar Republic that was formed in Germany, it could not extend its wings. So there was a fall of Weimar Republic, and the people of Germany, since Germany was in debts, in the waves of unemployment, in huge crisis, economic losses, the currency had lost its importance, the value of the currency had declined, so Black Thursday and Wall Street crash. So they wanted the dictatorial leaders like Hitler to have their role in upbringing the solidarity of the German nation. And from there comes the concept of Nazism and the rise of Hitler. Shall I change the slide?
These
are the effects of the war which I have given.
Economic crisis, what ma'am has already said, that this is just a glimpse in short so that the students can just have a view and they can understand that in short, as I said, that visual medium is more powerful than audio. So that is why this one she has put here just for the students to have a view of that. Then they can remember also, that it will be easier for them to remember. Like this with the pictures.
And these are the paper cuttings which have got in the...
That time paper cutting, yes. Destruction of
democracy, march of the Nazi, of the Gestapo, which is the Nazi police. And here the
Hitler's, I think Hitler is there. Hitler is already in the political scenario, and Hitler has started his expansion of the countries. Yes. So Hitler's role.
These are all the pictures which I have got, and this is a picture. It's not written over that in the net clearly, but I hope it is his Operation Barbarossa, his march to
Russia. Achha, ma'am. Oh, what is this one? So, can I just take it out? 6. According to board, ma'am, it is in which are you all doing Egyptian civilization?
Yes, it is in class
same book. Book also same.
Yeah, same in class.
So for this one, see Egyptian civilization. This slide. This is just a picture. This is nothing. First, if we just give them the idea about the location of Egypt. Just the location of the Egypt in the class, first introductory part must be the location of Egypt. So here if they can see the map, then they can understand the location of Egypt. Then very important part is this one, the Egypt as a gift of Nile. Egypt is called to be the gift of Nile, and who has called it? Herodotus, who is called to be the father of history. He has called actually Egypt the gift of Nile, and why it is known as gift of Nile? While they are mugging up the answer, if they just can have a view of this, they can remember it better. Next we have the structure of the ancient Egypt, where we see this one I have given Pharaoh. Then we have the next actually is the priest, then the priest, doctors, and the other middle class people, then scribes. Scribes were the people who used to write, and then craftsmen, then the last one is the soldier, farmers, and the slaves. So this is a social structure. Then we have the pharaohs here. About the pharaohs, I have given one audio also. Double tap. Double tap. Play. How do you? I think what happened? Play. One.
What is a pharaoh? The king or queen of ancient Egypt is called a pharaoh. You have probably heard of Tutankhamun or seen pictures of his golden death mask, but there are more than 150 other pharaohs throughout the long history of ancient Egypt. Most of them were men, but some, like Nefertiti and Cleopatra, were women. The pharaoh was the political and religious leader of the Egyptian people, holding the titles Lord of the Two Lands and High Priest of every temple. As a high priest, the pharaoh represented the gods on earth. He performed rituals and built temples to honor the gods. The ancient Egyptians did not refer to their kings as pharaohs. The word pharaoh actually comes from the Greek language and was used by the Greeks and Hebrews to refer to the kings of Egypt. Today, we also use the word pharaoh when referring to the kings of Egypt. Two kingdoms. Egypt was originally divided into two kingdoms, the Lower Kingdom and the Upper Kingdom. Each kingdom had its own pharaoh. The labels of Upper and Lower were fairly strange, with Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north. The terminology comes from the flow of the Nile from the highlands of East Africa upstream to the Mediterranean Sea downstream. Then, in about 3100 BC, the pharaoh of Upper Egypt, called Nara or Menes, defeated the pharaoh of Lower Egypt and united the two kingdoms. Nara became the first pharaoh to rule over the whole of Egypt. The ancient Egyptian.
Then, instead of listening to our lecture, if they listen to this is more attractive for them. Then already we have heard about the mummies there in the video only. We have the pyramids of Egypt, and then we have the hieroglyphic script. And the papyrus. All of us, we know about papyrus, so this kind of pictures, if we can show them, in that case they can get an idea about what is papyrus. Actually, this papyrus is very important because the paper, this word, this has come from this papyrus. So we can show them that, some pictures, and with that some writing, so that they can understand. Another thing is that we know that in this Egyptian script is called the hieroglyphic script, but Egyptians also had four other different types of script: hieroglyphic, hieroglyphs, hieratic, demotic, and Coptic. These are the four different scripts which evolved with the time, which came into being with the time. So these are also four different types of scripts. I think that is not mentioned in the syllabus, so this we can add over it.
Not in syllabus.
Yes, not in syllabus.
Yes, only hieroglyphic.
Hieroglyphic is only mentioned. Yes. No, we are doing it in detail. But we are doing it in detail. But hieroglyphic, regarding hieroglyphic script also, we have a board book. It is this book is given, but only about the hieroglyphic script it is given. But when we are teaching them about Egypt, then I think this information must be given to them. So this is all about Egyptian civilization. Again, I think I have to undo it. Which one is one? Yes. Double.
8. that is emergence of Ayodhya as a regional power.
Oh, actually. From class
That
8.
is of chapter 2. Sadat Khan, Ubari's Khan.
No, we are not following the book. They are following the book. We are doing Kalyan book. Yes.
Emergence of Ayodhya as a regional power. This is from class 8.
And today this is a
And
very
this chart has been very nicely portrayed by this girl, Tanisha Dash. She was a very weak student. I mean, literally, she is throughout the year she remains sick because of her ill health condition, and she is very weak also. But by implementing this form of teaching learning process, she has improved a lot, and that's why I insist upon her to make more charts. That whatever she will learn, maybe it's very limited, but she will learn in a consolidated way, and she has done this chart.
Very nice. When she's making, she's learning. Because she has to do the research work, otherwise she cannot make any chart. So that is why, and history is a research. History is research, history can be related to science, so history is a research.
Power. This is also from class 8. Name has been put in the back below. Yes. This is Suhana Malik. This girl, I'm really very ashamed to say, but this girl is also very poor in studies. And in last year's annual exam, she has done miserably bad and she has been found lot of deception, yes. But this girl, after implementation of this teaching learning process, this approach, she has also improved. At least she needs to do some sort of studies, search in the niche, so she has done it very well.
This is really appreciated. This is really appreciated.
Class 10, first chapter, History of Music. My words have done that. History of cinema, history of music. I have given the options to my children. History of sports. So which one do you prefer to do? And this girl has preferred history of music.
This is good only. Because for class 10,
Because she's a music lover.
I think from music, which is our first chapter. Similarly, one of my students has prepared this one, which is the different dance forms of India. So this is also they can get, because in the book it is very sketchy that dance is an important source of history. But when we are teaching them about dance, they should also know about the different dance form of history. So this one also can be used. Another chart. This is also on history of the cinema. We have one topic.
Yes, I have mine also. There is a
history of cinema. So here the students have searched. I have not helped them. I have just given them the names of the directors, and they have searched. And even you see this information also they have given. Kshatriya, his father, his grandfather. I just told them you search and find out that why these people are so important or why they are so famous. And with that you find out the names of the films. Some of the films they have written some photo also they brought, and they have taken the photos. They have done it all by their own under my guidance. Just I have given them some hints, and under my guidance they have prepared this chart. So like this we can ask other students also. One is making the history of cinema, so one can make history of music, one can make the history of sports. Like this way for class 10, because for class 10 we have a very limited time period to complete the syllabus. That's why we actually we can, like one I have made one PPT presentation on Quit India movement, which is also a part of our class 10 syllabus. This I have made. Just if we get time, we will be going through that. What is Quit India movement? Just a brief definition of that. What was the slogan of the Quit India movement? Then causes of the movement. Causes of the Quit India movement. Just in brief, if we give them the points, then they can elaborate. Because they are in class 10. They know that once they remember the points, they can elaborate. But remembering the points also it only becomes very difficult for them. So if we give them the point, then they can remember and they can elaborate the points. Then we have the phases of Quit India movement. There were 3 phases. So this way, if we just give them an idea, they can remember and as I before also I have said that visual medium is more powerful, so they can remember. Here, leaders' names are given, which often come as their objective question, multiple choice question. They get it for one sentence answer. So if they have an idea quickly, they can understand that suppose this name Kamalna Asafali, she was associated with which movement. Then they can find out because they can remember the slides better. Then the reaction of the British. Why the movement failed? Here also same thing. I have given the points. Elaboration we are doing in the class, but if they can remember the points, then they can elaborate. Failure of the movement, then the results of the movement. The outcomes of the movement I have given you. And at the end, for them to know, I have put up some questions. Like these are also related to their syllabus and to the board question. Who is known as Gandhi Buri? These are the questions which are generally coming. Who coined the slogan Quit India? Yusuf Meher Ali. Then who was the Viceroy of India during the Quit India movement? This kind of questions are very much relevant because they get this kind of questions in the MCQ. In one sentence, we have in Group B part, Group B, there is one part answered in one complete sentence. There also they get this kind of questions. So they can remember. I think this will help them to remember this one. Okay, so Quit India one is done. Another one I have done, that is on chapter 1 only. Suppose if we have to do some activities in the class for class 10. As I already said, the time is very limited for class 10, but we can go for this kind of thing so that it will be a kind of revision also for them, and at the same time it is an activity also. So here for class 10 I have done this like quiz. It's a quiz PPT. They will enjoy also. They will learn and they will enjoy. This question can be put up. I have the answer also. Suppose who designed the cover page of Indian Constitution. Picture also of Indian Constitution I have given and the answer is here. If they are right, if they correctly answer, they will get 10 points. So this will be an interactive session. They will be enjoying while answering this and while learning these answers. So this also can be done. Food capital of Odisha. Like this, the answers are there, questions are here and the answers are there. This question often comes, who wrote the book Blood, and these things actually this is a Bengali book. In our school we have this problem, our students are not they are not from the Bengali background, so they don't know this. So we have to make them know. For that we can do like this, we can put up some quiz round for them. Like this one I have put up the MCQ questions actually. These are the MCQ questions which are coming on the board. I have done like this. In that case, they will remember it in a better way. And correct answers are also given here with the slides. All these are from their board. They are getting this from their board book only. They are getting this kind of questions. So this we can also do to make them learn. One of the flip classes taken by my student. Yesterday only I did this.
Our topic for today is History of Science, Technology and Medicine. I would like to start this with the quote said by Gyan Bharati, which is History is science, know less and know more. This quote shows that history can be related to science. But how can history actually be related to science? Can someone tell me this? Because all the subjects require research. Correct. Both history and science require research. And moreover,
video I have done yesterday. But day before yesterday, when I went to their class, I told them that I told Srishti, she is Srishti Agarwal from class 10D. I told Srishti that you will be taking the class tomorrow. And for that, whatever preparation you have to make as a teacher, you will make that preparation and come. I didn't give her any guidance regarding this. This was only my version was that you now become a teacher. Tomorrow you will be the teacher. I will be sitting on your place, and I will be sitting at your place, and you will be in my place. You will be taking the class. For that, whatever preparation you have to do, you do it. You do and bring it. And this chart she herself made. She did the research work. She herself made the chart and she brought it. And then that surely she has explained in the class. And this one also, this is another student, she made this chart, her video is also there, but I have not put it here. This is about autobiography and memoir, she taught in the class, and this one she prepared some name of some autobiography and memoirs that she has shared with her friends. So like this is very, I think this is very interesting when we are, this is called flip class, when we are asking the students to come, this increases their confidence also. They become confident, they do research work, and they are learning much. I think they are learning. This process helps them to learn a lot. So this can also be it's a student activity. So we can use this in the class while teaching. While teaching, they can also become the teachers. We can ask them to do. Another TLM we can use, that is for general, for everyone we can do it, for any class we can do it. That is if we give them some cheats. Like small we get color cheats. So if we give them some cheats and after teaching them one topic, say you are teaching them about Mahatma Gandhi. After explaining to them about Mahatma Gandhi, now the next day you go to the class and you distribute these cheats to them, blank cheats. And then if you tell them that yesterday I taught you about Mahatma Gandhi, now I am giving you the topic Mahatma Gandhi. Whatever comes to your mind, you write in that sheet and you come and paste it over here so that everyone in the class can see. That will also help them to learn about Mahatma Gandhi. Isn't it? That can also be a very interesting way. They will be learning also, and naturally when they will be doing it in front of everyone, they will be writing something about Mahatma Gandhi. For that they need to know also about that. So they can also do it like that. So this can also be a activity of the student. That's it. Okay.
ওইটা তো খুলে যাবে না, শুধু এটাই খুলবে।
আর একবার করুন ওটা দেখি। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে। হ্যাঁ
আর ওইটা তো খোলা যাবে না,
ওটা নরমাল পুরো সেট হয়ে থাকবে।
হ্যাঁ
তাহলে ওখান দিয়ে কোনো হাওয়া বের হবে তো?
হ্যাঁ হাওয়া বেরোবে তো।
ঠিক আছে।
হাওয়া বেরোবে।